good. How are you?
I'm doing really well, and I'm so happy to be with you again for, yay, for Keeping It Sweet New Year's edition. Even though it's almost, January is almost gone already. So we're a little late on the draw, but that's okay. Life happens. Things happen. But here we are, and me and Carrie are here and excited to share some things that are helping us stay organized and creative, and who knows what else we'll come up with while we're here together. All kinds of fun stuff happening. And I guess we'll get started with our Keeping It Sweet song, so you can see what it's all about. Okay? Think, fun, and laughter, that's certainly what we're after, for that satisfying sweet spot in our soul. For all things essential, for all things simple, staying present with that sweet spot in our soul. Keeping it sweet, yes, we're keeping it sweet, for that satisfying sweet spot in our soul. Keeping it sweet, yes, we're keeping it sweet, staying present with that sweet spot in our soul. Yay! It's always so much fun to sing with you, Carrie, and to sing about what Keeping It Sweet is all about, where we focus on all things essential, simple, and satisfying. And so far, we have 2 viewers. I want to give a shout out to the 2 viewers we have. You are welcome to say hello and identify yourself and join us for our little conversation about New Year's and 2021 and how we can keep it sweet, as sweet as we can, in all the tumult that we're constantly dealing with in the world. But we are here to focus on things to make life easier, more creative, more fun, easier to stay organized, and all that good stuff. So I guess we'll get started with my idea of how I stay more organized. How do you stay organized, Carrie? Do you have a... Hello, Hannah. Thank you.
I don't.
Oh, she says that we look beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet. Hannah says we look beautiful. Awesome. That's so sweet. So what were you going to say? I was just asking you how you stay organized.
I was going to say I don't. Are you kidding?
We are making confessions here. No organization.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
The sweet spot confessional.
You know what? I don't stay all that organized either, but I have one thing that I use that kind of sort of aims me in that direction of trying to, of trying to
give me an idea. Help me out.
Yeah.
Here. Yes.
Well, I don't know how many folks know that I've been keeping a journal for 30 years or more, but I know a lot of people.
A few might know.
Yeah.
A few might know.
Maybe. And so the thing I was going to suggest to folks in this new year of 2021 is to try using something that's a little bit simpler, that doesn't require as much verbiage, you know, like long narrative, because I know a lot of people don't really like to write long narrative about life and that sort of thing. And I understand that. It takes time, and it's, you know, sometimes it can be a little bit emotional when you do that. So I was going to suggest trying a bullet journal. Yes. I never used to have an interest in bullet journaling because it always looks so complicated. But I read the book by the guy who came up with the bullet journal method. And I have to admit that I've been able to adopt. Hey, John Bench is watching. Hello. Okay, Hannah says, I write 2 pages every Sunday. I write about work, life, and church. Awesome. Yay. So Hannah has a regular time.
That's very good.
Journal. Yes, it's good that you have something. It's once a week. It's doable, and you get to talk about things that are meaningful to you. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Hannah. We appreciate it. Absolutely. And so I decided to adopt my own method of bullet journaling, kind of using a few things that the author suggests doing, I don't do everything that they suggest because it would be too much. But what I do is I keep collections. Now, a collection, I'll just explain it very briefly. A collection is simply just a topic that you want to keep track of in whatever way works for you. You know, like for me, I keep a collection of all the things I watch, like movies, videos, YouTube stuff, you know, that kind of thing. I keep track of that just so I have reference, you know, of what I've watched. Sometimes I have a little place where I write a little, you know, like a review of a movie I've seen, you know, what I thought about it. I also keep track of stuff for business, you know, so that I have an easy reference rather than relying on my computer for everything, so that I can just go and look it up if I need to really quick. So I do that. And then I also have my wardrobe tracker, which I talked about in my most recent video that Carrie saw called The Sweetness of Yellow Gold. I had so much fun doing that video.
Yes.
If you want to see my wardrobe tracker, you can go check out that video. But anyway, so I have a lot of different things that I keep track of. Things so that I don't have to try to remember stuff. You know, like, oh, when was the last time I did blah, blah? Well, instead, I have it written down in my bullet journal. And it just makes life easier. It just does. It makes life easier for me. So I'm going to recommend that you read the book on the bullet journal method, or you can just go YouTube. They all kinds of videos that people use that people have on how they do their bullet journal. I do not make a big deal out of it. It's just an easy way to like keep a record of what I'm doing each day. That's the rapid log. That's what they call that, where you just do a solid bullet for tasks and an open bullet for experiences. Yeah. So when I'm reading, watching, and listening to something, that's an experience for me. So I have an open bullet that I do for that. And then for the stuff in the office or things I have to do in general for the household, sometimes I'll write it down and then I can just cross it off. Now, we all love to cross things off our list, right? That's like such a rewarding thing to do, you know? So that's one of the reasons why I recommend trying out a little bit of the bullet journal, whatever works for you, because it works for me. And I've been doing it since December of 19. So a little over a year that I've been at it. And you add things, whatever's of interest to you. If it's books you're reading, or maybe a subject that you have interest in and you want to like take some notes, or you know, you want to jot down some references, you know, that you want to look up or whatever. It can be good for anything like that. And it's really, really interesting. That's what I love about bullet journaling. It's very customized. It's all based on what matters to you and what you want to keep track of. Yeah.
It's not necessarily like I made a list on this page, now I'm turning the page, now I'm starting another page, and I'm never going back to that, because it's more like a workbook, I guess you would say, that you are continuously flipping back and forth, cataloging, listing. Like it's act.
Yes.
Whereas like a narrative journal like I do sounds like you write this page, the page is written, you turn the page,
and then you just keep
you're not going back to that, you're not editing that, you're not crossing anything off. So this is more active.
Yes.
You know, you're taking an active role. You can go back to it, reference, add, delete, cross off.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. It's a very interactive, engaging kind of way to keep track of what's going on in your life and what matters to you. Exactly. That is a really good way to explain it, Carrie. That was good. That was really awesome. Let's see what Hannah said.
I like that.
Hannah says, that's my favorite part of journaling. I write about what I want to remember in the future. I ignore stuff that was tiring or burdensome. Well, that's good, because then you're just focusing more on the positive stuff that you want to, you know, have something to look back on. Good. Yeah, exactly. That's it. And, you know, that's a really good point, Hannah, because when you choose to focus on something positive rather than ruminating on stuff that's upsetting you, then it puts you in a better frame of mind. And then you kind of lean more toward gratitude rather than feeling bad about something, you know? Yeah. But I'm also interested in, you know, taking a look at what doesn't work for me so that I can figure out what will work for me. And that's why I love the journaling process, because it gives you clarity and it makes you more aware of things that you might not think of off the top of your head, you know, unless you actually write it down. And Hannah says, again, let's see, I should bullet David is the best. David made me smile today. I had a great phone call with David. Yeah, there you go. When you have
Why not?
your significant other, oh yeah, you got to write your list down of all the good things
It'd
that
be a
happen.
long list.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Aw.
And then you can tell them you did
Good.
that. Oh, I'm always talking about something, you know, that made me laugh, you know, like a conversation I had with my husband. I always mark things down that really stand out to me, you know, when, yeah, and I do, sometimes I do it in my bullet journal. Sometimes I do it in my narrative journal. And believe it or not, sometimes I do it in both journals. I try not to be too redundant though, because the whole point for me is efficiency and yet having fun at the same time. That's kind of where that goes.
I do a slight version every maybe 6 months to a year of what the kids are saying. Like when
There you go. Oh, I love that idea. That's so much
the
fun.
new baby, you know, when it got to, oh my gosh, I think he said something, you know, just trying to write down the sounds or actual words that come out. And so I try to do that, not often, but every once in a while. It's getting kind of big now, but
Yeah, no, I understand. No, I
you're
think
making me think now. Lists of bugs I've taken pictures of. I'm like, oh no. That'd be a
I love
long
that
list.
idea. I love that idea.
I'm
And you can even write
I'm
down like where you
intrigued.
found it. You could like say, I found it here and this is where how many times have I done this? Yeah, exactly. That would be like such
Dawn's
a fun
making some work for me. She's making more work for me.
whatever matters to you, whatever's meaningful to you.
Journal.
Yeah.
Yes, a bug journal.
I could really see you doing that. I honestly could. I really do. And then you could like take pictures, print them out, and put them in your journal. Just kind of paste them in.
Yeah.
That would be fun, right? To do a little collage.
Better than a doodle. I wouldn't be able to doodle it, but yes.
Yeah, exactly. That sounds like fun. See, she has some ideas. Absolutely. We're all in this together, right? Oh my goodness. The point is to me is to focus on what matters to you and being able to keep track of things that you forget easily. And I know that that can be a real aggravation to a lot of people, you know, so why not write it down or keep track of it in a place where you can go back and look? You know, I have pages for each month. Like every new month, I create pages for each of the collections that I'm keeping for that month. And then I go back through it each evening and I record each of the things that I'm keeping track of. And it's fun to do because then I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I watched this. And it really makes me think, okay, what did I experience today? What did I watch? Did I watch, you know, and it kind of, in a sense for me, it kind of helps prevent me from going down the rabbit hole. If you know what I mean. Like if I notice that I'm watching a lot of little stuff that really isn't meaningful to me, I'm like, you know, and then I can say, okay, all right, I'm doing too much of that. I want to do more of this, you know, more of something that's more meaningful to me rather than, you know, getting caught up in stuff that's just time consuming, but it doesn't add to me kind of thing. So that
Plus,
too.
I like doing it monthly because then you can see progress.
Oh, absolutely.
Like a year from now, you could go and be like, hey, every month last year, I knocked out at least one thing off of this list, or I enjoyed one more thing on this list. Like it can, when you are in a ruminating, reflective mood, then you can, or at the end of the year, like we just talked about the new year, then you can be like, hey, you know what? Pat on the back, okay? You know, there was at least, you know, you didn't climb the whole mountain, but you're moving forward in something if you make a goal for yourself.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
Awesome. Love that take, Carrie. Love that take. Absolutely. And you can do whatever you want with it. It's just a matter of what matters to you and, you know, make it as colorful as you want. I've been adding a little bit of washi tape, Never used to do that before. I've been adding a little bit of musical washi tape on the pages where my songs are written. Yeah. When I write a song, I write it in my bullet journal and then I put a little washi tape on there. So, and the reason why I do that is because you can see what pages have songs on them. So you put a little thing on the edge of the paper.
Oh, so yeah. Okay.
And
you flip to that one.
So I can go back and look at the songs that I wrote for that month, etc. Instead of just having a list of all the songs that I wrote, which I used to do, but I don't do that anymore. I just write the song on the page on the day that I wrote it. And then I put a little washi tape on the edge so I can see I wrote a song that day. Exactly. So
Awesome.
it's just a matter of what works for you, you know? I just love it. I'm having a lot of fun. And if I'm having a lot of fun, then I know I'm on the right track. So you got
Well,
to work with what works for you.
make a bullet. Make a bullet. In a couple of episodes, we'll come back and we'll hear more about it. I want an update.
I am so excited about this. And you know, the one thing that makes it really easy is that you have an index.
It's
There's a space for an index in the front of every bullet journal that you get. They give you a space to write down what's on each page. Now, you don't write down like the days that just have your rapid log. You also, you know, you can just write the collections that you have and what page they're on and that kind of thing. Yeah, so this way you can go back and look at it. And I do that a lot. I go back to the index and say, okay, what page is that on again? You know, and then I can just go right to it. And I recently got myself some multi-ribbon bookmarks. And yes, I am using them. Got all different colors. There's like 6 different colors. And I'm using them to kind of mark certain pages that I use every day, you know, that I go back to all the time. And it makes it easier for me to find stuff that way too. So yeah, it's great. It works for me. So that's my bullet journal chit chat talk.
like that.
Just to share what I've been doing with that and how it keeps me organized. Now I'm gonna give it over to you, Carrie, so that you can share with us what you've been doing since the new year started, or even before that.
Yes. Slightly before. I have been working on now every year. My husband, for the last 3 years, goes to a comic book convention here in town.
Yes.
And we have an amazing time selling and sharing with the people there. And every year, his father, at least for one shift, will come down and help him out.
Mm-hmm.
He enjoys seeing the cosplayers and helping out and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so it ends up being a family affair. So the first year, he asked one of the workers there for one of the banner displays that was just going to go in the trash anyway. It wasn't anything like autographed or historic or anything. He was just being Grandpa BC. so, so he took it and then, you know, he gave it to us and we were like, what the heck are we going to do with it? But I've kept it as memorabilia. And so his birthday is coming up. I've been trying to, my initial was to frame it and give it back to him the way that it was. And now that a couple years have gone by that I have been trying to look for a feasible framing solution and been unable to find it, I stumbled upon a pair of frames too, and I couldn't resist. The price was right. I got them. They're not long enough, which initially disappointed me a little bit, but I thought now there's an opportunity here, you know, I just need to think about this. And so I've been working on it, and instead of just framing what he grabbed, I've turned it into a bit of a collage of the bits that we have kept from over and over when we went to these conventions.
Oh,
and
my
so
goodness, that is so cool.
these are the tags that you would have to show that you're a vendor, you know, and they gave out business cards, and there were booklets for the people who came to participate, to view where everything was and stuff. So I included pictures of his booth and pictures of Grandpa BC and stuff.
Oh, that is so wonderful. I love that.
So here's Grandpa BC.
Wow.
Yay!
So this is for his birthday.
So this is for his birthday. Like, here's the map of where we were and things like that. So I just thought he would enjoy seeing and remembering some of the moments that we at the convention. And so I had the banner is this big part.
Yes.
And I had to cut it in half. So then the bottom, so this is one half, and then that's the other half. So I had to I had to get a little crafty, but
That's okay. I think it's wonderful what you've done there.
so I got some spots here. I'm gonna need some washi tape. Is
Uh-huh.
that what we call it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes.
I'm gonna need something.
Yes. Washi tape is a very thin kind of tape. It's usually decorative. It usually comes with some kind of pattern on it, or you can get solid colors. And it's easy because it comes off easily. It doesn't stick really hard to things, and yet it can hold stuff pretty well, like on a wall or in a collage. A lot of people use them in art journals and scrapbooks and things of that nature. And yes, a lot of bullet journal people use them. So yeah, that would be the perfect thing to, you know,
Well,
to decorate it as
yes.
well as to to add any other stuff that you want to do. Absolutely.
There's
Hannah says,
little...
Carrie, you're really cool.
Oh.
I'm sorry, you were saying I interrupted you. I just
Yeah, because there are just little areas that I didn't know, and there's nothing that's going to fit in there. So, and you said, well, and I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. So that might just be the finishing touch. I don't know that there's much more.
Yeah. I think it's wonderful. What a meaningful.
We're very excited.
Gosh, oh my goodness, he's gonna love that. I mean, that is just the perfect way to show the things that matter to him, the things that give him joy, and just that feeling of satisfaction, just doing something that just works for you. I think it's wonderful that you made that for him. He's going to be thrilled. I'll be very
I got to figure out how to wrap it now.
He's not, yeah, right? Oh my goodness. I'm so glad you shared that to us. See? Sometimes it takes time to put something together. You got to give yourself space to kind of think about it and consider what you want to do with it.
Right. Exactly. I had to let it come to me and not get frustrated. So if you're a perfectionist out there looking for a sweet spot and you want it done now and you can't move on because you didn't do it all the way right now, take a deep breath. Could it be possible, use a bridge statement, could it be possible that it'll be okay if I don't finish this completely right now and do what I can, and that's okay, and come back to it?
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted it for the convention for last year that ended up getting canceled. I wanted it for last Christmas, and I just had to continue adjusting.
Yeah.
Because I wanted it to be right.
Yeah.
But it's not that it needs to be right. It just, I really wanted to be satisfied, and instead of compromising to meet a certain deadline that I had an expectation, I had to step back from that, which was hard, and just let it because it was more important to me that it was that it was coming together.
Yes.
Instead of rushing it for it to look haphazard for a certain day.
Yes, exactly.
So,
exactly.
For creatives out there, just consider that, I guess, and know that it's okay and you're okay, the project is okay. Don't get wrapped up in dates. And even when you're bullet journaling, don't make a bullet journal and be like, I've got to get all this done and tomorrow's the 29th and I'm gonna not sleep tomorrow and do everything on this list so that the bullet journal is complete for the month.
No.
It's okay. It's okay.
It should never give you any kind of feeling of incompleteness or like, oh, I have to do this in order to make it look good or whatever. No, you just go at your own pace. You do whatever you want to do. You take it easy, give yourself margin, give yourself space, and just take it one moment at a time. That is all you
This is happening.
Yes.
This is happening. Okay.
I love the cat.
Oh, no.
Meow. She joined us for keeping it sweet. There you go. There you go.
What was that? Okay.
Continue. I absolutely love pussycats. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was a good one. That was very good. What's your cat's name? What's your cat's name?
Daisy.
Daisy. Okay, Daisy, you just made keeping it sweet even better. That's right, because you made your furry face known, and you're welcome anytime, along with any other pussycats you may have around there. I know you have 2, right?
Oh, yes.
I love the spontaneity of being on a live broadcast and then having stuff like that happen. It makes it so much fun. I just love that. So I also wanted to mention, Hannah says I love cats. Yes, I love cats too. I did have one other tidbit that I wanted to share that might be of help in this new year, because I know it's so easy to get caught up in resolutions and, you know, I want to do this, I want to get that done, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's always very, very common to do that. But I have to say that I've been watching some YouTube videos on minimalism and decluttering. And I'm not doing it to overwhelm myself. If I feel like I'm getting too much information, I just shut it off and go somewhere else or watch something else. Yeah, exactly. But I've gotten some really good ideas, and I have been implementing some of those ideas in my home. And one of the things that I have been doing is I have been taking note of where things are located in my kitchen, in my bedroom, in my living room, and even in my office, and saying to myself, do I really like it where it is right now? Does it work for me? Is it easy to get to? Or do I feel like I have to go through all this stuff to get what I need, kind of thing? Okay. And so I started just taking note of when I feel either resistance or just like if I feel blocked, you know, because there's too much in my space or it's just not in a good place. And I have been making some changes. I moved some things around in my kitchen so that they're easy to reach for me, easy to get to. And I have been so surprised with how happy that has made me. Just something simple like moving it from one cabinet to another cabinet or one shelf to another shelf and just making it easier for myself. And so I'm suggesting that if you have a place in your home that just feels to you, you know, where, oh, this is disorganized, too much clutter, or, oh, I don't know where to put this, or I don't know why I have it over here because it's out of the way and I don't like going over there to get it. I don't want to have to climb a stool to get it if you're, you know, on the shorter end like I am. Oh my goodness, drive you crazy, right? So that's what I've been doing. I've been moving things around, and I have been so surprised with the impact on my ease of just being simple, more organized, less clutter, just a little bit. It doesn't have to be like a full-scale bedroom clean out or anything like that. It's just one space, one thing at a time. And then once you get started, then you start coming up with more ideas, you know, like I did something in my bathroom. I did something in my closet. I mean, I literally just moved sweaters up 2 shelves instead of down where they were. Who knew, right? Now I can see them really well and I can grab them really easily, even with my dress form right there, you know, and I'm so glad I did that, you know, just little things like that.
Such a good idea. You know, I think there are places in a room that we start to go blind to that we don't even pay, like we set it up, we set the room up, and that's how a room should be. And then we just don't, you know, your active life can take you away from that corner or that part of the room and you don't even really notice it. And then like maybe months or a year or something goes by and you don't go and sit in that chair, or we don't end up using the table, the dish for the keys by the table by the front door like I thought we would, like it was in the magazine, like I thought I needed to have.
Exactly.
I always just throw clothes on this thing and never even really, I don't get to see it or enjoy it because it's always covered with clothes or whatever, you know, that we don't even think about. There's probably places, you know, and we're just, you know, we're so busy. So,
oh, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
taking a minute to sit in a room or a space and just be conscious of what you just did.
Exactly.
And be
like really pay close attention.
Have I visited this chair lately? Have I looked at anything on this shelf at all? Why is it still here? I have Christmas presents I got that are still in the box because I have nowhere to put them. But what if I cleaned off this shelf that I don't look at and tried them there? I mean,
You never know.
yeah, that's a
I
good
know.
idea.
Exactly.
That's a sweet spot.
It's
Yeah.
it is all about awareness. And I think, our brains can only process so much information. And so that's why we don't really pay attention to what's in our immediate space, because you can only, process so much.
It takes so much.
Yes, exactly. So when you sit down and you look next to you, like literally, if I look next to me, here, I'll show you. There's what's next to me. I've got my art supplies with my little buckets of water and my paintbrushes right next to me here. Now, of course, I use them. I use them all the time. Like I'm in here on the weekends and I'm working on my painting. So I need those things here. Now, there are some things on the bottom shelf, like my oil pastels and a bunch of papers, and all in Ziploc bags to keep it organized. Buttons, just things like that I just never use. They're all down there and I don't see them and I'm not paying attention. So yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's a matter of literally sitting in that space and really looking at what is around you. And if you don't like what you see, just kind of think about, well, what could I do to make this space better? Can I
more satisfying?
Yeah, there you go. Satisfying.
Simple.
Love it. Yes, yes, exactly.
Make it a sweet spot. Is there a spot in your home that's not a sweet spot?
Yeah, exactly. And you want to make it one. Exactly.
And I'm not advocating that. I'm not trying to explain that you need to go shopping to refill the space with something else.
No, as a matter of fact,
have too much stuff in it right now. It might need a little less stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, and one of the tips that I've been getting from more than one person who talks about minimalism, instead of going shopping for something you think you might need, shop in your house. That's what they say, to shop in your house and look around and see if there's something that you may not be using or may not need in a certain space, which is exactly what I did. I went into my office and I took the stuff that was on an organizer and I put it in a place that was actually better than what was in it. I put it in a drawer instead of on the organizer that it was on. And I took that organizer and I put it on the table next to my living room chair. And now I have what I need all organized in that space. So I literally shopped in my house, found something that would work for me, and whatever was on it before is in a better spot now. So this is what I mean. It's like when you really give thought to, well, what do I need for this space? And what do I have in my house that might actually help me get it where I want it to be? Because most likely you probably have something that will work. Just think outside the box a little bit. That's all. But the whole point, of course, is ease. You want to make things as simple in your space as possible so that you have less resistance, you have more flow, you have more, I don't know, just openness, where you're just happy with the way it looks now. It's satisfying. Yes, exactly. Perfect.
Awesome. Yay. Yeah.
So these are some ideas that I just wanted to give you guys for the new year.
I like that.
A little late.
Yes.
And whether it's trying a bullet journal for the first time, keep it simple. That's the whole, for me, I just started with just really, really simple. And then you'll come up with new things to put in there if you decide to do that. If a new something comes up that you want to keep track of, then you add a collection to your, just write it on the page and make a plan to put something on there. And one of the things that they don't suggest you do is plan for a page rather than filling a page. In other words, if you don't have something to put on that page now, then don't make the page until you do. So this way you don't have pages in your bullet journal where you feel like you need to go back and fill it, and then you didn't end up going back to fill it.
Right.
So instead, don't create the collection until you have something to put on the page. And then this way there's something that's purposeful, that matters to you, that's meaningful to you, that's going to add to you in some kind of a way, and then you do it. That's all. And
you're not going to be stressed looking at blank pages that you had an idea for that you didn't get to yet.
Exactly. You want to keep it simple, keep everything. That's the word for this year is simple. Just keep it as simple
Yay.
as you can. Don't make
Love
anything
it.
more complicated than it has to be. No, 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 no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Simple is just, I don't know. There's just an ease to it. It's just, I don't know. When we break things down and then and then we're like, oh, and then we come up with an idea that might work for us, you know? That's how it works. That's how it
Yeah.
works. So,
Makes me think of a brownie. Yummy. Makes you happy. It's good.
I always love your
Of course, it just could
contribution.
be lunchtime. I could be thinking of brownies because it's lunchtime. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, to brownie. That's so funny.
I,
I love your contributions, Carrie. This is so much fun. I always have so much fun hopping on here for keeping it sweet with you. It is such a blast. Well, if you
Well,
guys,
don't let it
yeah,
be
go
too
ahead.
long. And hopefully, since it won't be too long till Valentine's Day, hopefully we can see each other soon and do this again.
Yeah, I hope
I
so.
don't have
We'll have
more.
to see what happens with school too. So,
Depending on, I might have to do a quick sweet spot of my own
there you
to
go.
share because I have something coming that's not here yet that's coming that I will definitely want to share with you.
Yeah, there you go. I'm looking forward
I'm
to
gonna
seeing
tease.
that.
I'm gonna tease a
Absolutely.
future tidbit there. Yeah.
2 more weeks until Valentine's Day, Hannah says. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
You know, I
oh.
don't really think that much about Valentine's Day. I don't know why. I just don't. I guess because I don't know. I mean, I think about it maybe just briefly because, you know, the school has Valentine party and all that stuff, but I don't know. I just don't really think that much about it.
Oh, come on. Cut out a little Valentine pancake in the morning, you know. Let's go, girl.
Oh my goodness. She's always going to come up with a creative approach to doing something to celebrate. David and I are very excited for it. Our first Valentine's as a couple. Yay! That always makes it so exciting. Absolutely. I'm sure. Yes. It's always nice to have a significant other to share it with. No doubt. No doubt.
Right.
So we'll have to make some kind of plan. We'll talk about it behind the scenes and see what we can come up with. So
Yes.
anyway, well, I guess, folks, that's pretty much what we were going to share for this edition of Keeping It Sweet for New Year's, even though it's a little late in the month.
It's all good.
Of course, I will leave a link below for my most recent blog post that I just published.
Yes.
I think it was yesterday. Yes. Yeah. Trying to remember what day it was. Go live again. This was great. Oh, thank you. Oh, yeah, we certainly will. We had so much fun doing this together. And we love it when people leave comments and let us know what they're thinking about and how they're doing life and what's essential, simple, and satisfying for you. You're welcome to leave a comment and share with us what's going on with you. And what else was I going to say? I know, I got a little distracted. That's okay, no problem. So I guess we will make plans for sometime soon to hop back on here and talk about what is essential, simple, and satisfying for everybody. In the meanwhile, you're welcome to check out whatever we post below. Yes, I have a new blog post. It's called The Sweetness of Yellow Gold. I share a lot of fun stuff with that color, and Carrie watched it. She thought it was fun. So go check it out. I will drop a link below, and if Carrie has anything she wants to share below, she's welcome to do so. Well, you guys have yourself a thoughtful Thursday, and we will see you soon, okay? So remember to keep it sweet.
Keep it sweet.
Bye.